Okay, everybody, welcome back to the question for Freda Kins. We've now got through all of our trial balance kind of exercise, and now what we're going to do is we're going to try and put it all together now. And we're going to do the trading account first, alright? Again, you're going to need your ruler for this. I've drawn up my columns and I'm ready to go in the question paper. Ideally, the trial balance should have only taken us about 9-10 minutes, okay? Leaving us about 25 minutes max to do the profit and loss and balance sheet, okay? So what are we going to start with first? Well, the sales account is the money we got from every item we sold. So we need to find out what our sales were, and our sales were £83,500. And I'm going to put that in the last column just like that. Now another little tip for all you campers out there is that once you've done something, cross it off like that. Doesn't take much, but it makes sure that at the end of the exam paper you've used everything, and getting everything into the question is going to be really important, okay? So cross stuff off as you've used it. Alright. Okay, so there we go. There's our sales figure, and we're in there for 83,500. Okay, now what I want to do next? Well, I'd like to take off my sales returns now, the items that we've had returned to us. Okay, and in the question, if I go back to my trial balance, my sales returns were 2,540, like that, okay? And again, in the exam, make sure you use a ruler for your total lines, because you will get extra marks for it. And again, sales less sales returns, that's got to come off, okay? And I'm going to put, that's 80,960, all right, for 1 mark. Okay. So, we're now well underway. Let's do our cost of sales section now. Okay, less cost of sales. And again, because it's a title, I want to underline that. Alright, so there we go, there's my cost of sales. So, how do we work out cost of sales? Well, we always do our opening stock first. And the opening stock is in the trial balance, okay? The opening stock is in the trial balance. And it is 24,000. And I just want to bang that right there in that column, okay? £24,000. Now, to that I want to add my purchases. So I'm going to do this. Purchases, and of course my purchases should be, what are my purchases? 49,000, but don't forget the owner took some stuff, so 49,000 minus 1,550 equals 47,450. Okay, 47,450. Okay, now what we also do is we need to add on our carriage inwards. These are the 3 items that we will often have here. Okay, carriage inwards. And in the question, our carriage inwards was 790. Don't forget to cross it off your list, okay? And then what you've got to do is add those 3 up for me, okay? So 47,450 plus 790 plus 24,000 equals 72,240, okay? And it's just a subtotal, because now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take away any purchase returns and any closing stock. So in the question, have I got any purchase returns? Yes, I have. There we go. So I'm going to minus off my purchase returns here. And those purchase returns were... lost them, 2780. And I also want to minus off my closing stock, because I'm not going to use it this year, I'm going to use it next year, and my closing stock is 21,000. Okay, and that figure that I get now is going to be my cost of sales. So do that. And so I want to minus off 2780 minus off 21,000. And my cost of sales 48,460. Okay, there we go. Alright, so now we're getting somewhere. Okay, now what I can do is I'm going to use that as a total again, and I can now work out what my gross profit is. And my gross profit is going to be my sales less my cost of sales, and I'm going to get a gross profit, which is a positive number, and it is on the calculator 32,500. Okay, that's our first significant figure, our gross profit. All right, now to that we want to add our other income. Now you can do your other income after your expenses, but it just makes sense to put it in now. Either way, you won't be marked down. So I had two other incomes. So I'm going to do myself a little heading. Other incomes. Let me underline that. Okay, so my other incomes are discounts received, and what else have I got? Commission received. Right, so my discounts received are 127, and my commission received is 2,000 because we had the accrual, remember? So what does my other income add up to? My other income adds up to 2,127. And because income's a good thing, it's going to make my gross profit go up. Alright, it's going to make my gross profit go up. So I'm going to add my gross profit to my other income, and I'm going to get 34,627. I'm not going to call that anything, I just need to let that sit there until I start looking at my expenses now. Okay, so your expenses are always generally pretty long. Okay, now I need to just extend my lines here to the bottom of the page. Okay, so head it up again, less expenses. Okay, so there we go, and my expenses are, let's run down the list. Okay, the first thing I do is I go to my little list of adjustments that we've done. I scroll down here looking for my expenses, and the first one I'd like to put in is my doubtful debts. Okay, everything with the word expense here has to go in, so let's put those in first. Doubtful debts, and it's for 65. I'm going to use this column here because I want to add up all of my expenses. I've got my depreciation. In the exam, try not to abbreviate. I know I'm doing a little bit here. So with depreciation on equipment for 1375, cross it off my list. Depreciation on motor vehicle for 2250. Cross that off the list, and that's my three expenses from there. Right, so I need to go to the trial balance again and have a look at all my expenses, remembering all the time that I need to add on my accruals or minus my prepayments. Alright, okay, so let's go down the list. First one, let's try that one, rent for 9,600. Insurance, move that up a bit so you can see. Insurance is 1,600 once I've done my adjustment. I've got salaries, which are 11,500. I've got electricity, which is £2,000. There's an accrual there as well. I've got bad debts for 465. I've got loan interest for 1,000. I've got discounts allowed. Move that up. We're getting a big list and I'm running out of room on my page. Discount allowed, which is 115. I've got motor vehicle expenses, which are 1230. let's keep going. I've got, I think that what have I missed? Oh, general expenses. 7,430. Okay, so how many expenses have I got on my sheet? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 on my trial balance. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I've used all of my expenses from my adjustments in my trial balance. So what am I going to do? Well, I need to add those up. And when I add them up, total expenses are £38,630. Okay. Now, just to kind of give you an overview again, that's my most recent total up there, 34,627. Minus away all of your expenses, and this is not a good situation for Freda, because Freda has a net loss. Okay, and her net loss is 4,003. And you can put brackets around it if you want, but as long as you've said the word net loss, that's what we're after. Okay, so it's a net loss of 4,003. Now, because it's a total, I'd like to see you double underline it because it is important. And your profit and loss account is also complete now.